this video, I would like to take you through setting up some of the most commonly used features on the Jaguar F-Type, and also show you a few features that are, well, a little less obvious, but no less useful for that. The first thing I would recommend is to download the Jaguar iGuide app. This contains not only a full searchable copy of the handbook, but also a reference guide for warning lights on the dashboard, a frequently asked questions section, and a visual tour around the inside and outside of the car with information on the controls, buttons and features. It's a great source of immediate information when a question pops into your head, or you just see a button and wonder, well, what does that do? Another download is the Jaguar Remote app. The Remote app provides monitoring of many systems. When you first run the app, there is a quick start guide to aid setup, and then it provides control over remote locking and unlocking of the car, tells you how much fuel is in the tank, reports the last parked location of the car so you can always find your way back to it, and it can export a full journey log in the form of an Excel spreadsheet. So if you have to note down business mileage, it's dead easy to keep track of. It also provides remote activation of the climate system, cooling the interior in summer before you get in, or warming and de-icing the car in winter whilst keeping the car fully secure. Okay, let's start with the smart key. Now, lock and unlock seem pretty obvious, with a reassuring click responding to each one. Pressing the lock button just once will lock the car. Pressing twice will double lock. This means the car cannot be unlocked from the inside, so even if someone smashes a window, they still can't open the doors. This simple step is crucial to keeping your vehicle secure. Always double lock, either from the key fob or via tapping the door handle twice for vehicles with keyless entry. You'll hear a beep to confirm this is done successfully. Next, there's a button to unlock just the boot. If you have a powered boot lid, this will open or close the tailgate automatically, so do ensure that there is space for it to safely operate. Powered boot lids can also be operated by the button above the number plate on the outside, a button by the driver's knee inside, and a button on the back of the tailgate itself. You can use the smart key to trigger the headlights, so if you're approaching the car in the dark or simply trying to find it in a dark car park, this will switch the lights on. By default, they'll stay on for 30 seconds. This can be extended up to 4 minutes if you want, using the instrument panel in the car. More on that later. Unlocking the car will also trigger the headlights, and they'll remain on for a short period after locking to provide light to see you to your door. The final button is a panic alarm. Press for 3 seconds or press 3 times in 3 seconds, and the horn will sound and the hazard lights will flash. After 5 seconds, this can be cancelled by holding the button for a further 3 seconds. Holding the unlock button down will operate global opening, lowering the windows to allow air into the car before you enter on a hot day. Similarly, if you get out and then realise you've left a window open, hold the lock button to activate global closing to raise all the windows and secure the car. These operations can be enabled or disabled using the instrument panel options. All our latest models have Jaguar In-Control Secure vehicle tracker fitted, and your retailer will have performed the first steps in the setup process. You should have received an In-Control email inviting you to activate the tracker, and it's worth checking your junk folder for this if you haven't seen it. The activation process takes less than 2 minutes, and once complete and the product is activated, you can download the certificate from within the In-Control portal. If your insurer wishes to see proof of an activated tracker, simply go to the Your In Control Services section to find it. For vehicles with Secure Tracker Pro, an ultra-wideband frequency connection precisely determines the distance between the vehicle and the key fob to protect against thefts relaying the key fob signal. The owner will be alerted to any attempt to start the car when the key is more than 3 meters away from the vehicle. Getting into the car then, the first thing you need to do is find a comfortable position. Seat controls can be found on the driver's door here. Steering wheel adjustment is powered using the joystick on the left-hand side of the steering column. Mirrors are adjusted using the controls mounted on the driver's door. Select which mirror to adjust using the buttons, and then use the joystick to adjust the angles. Incidentally, if you've got power folding mirrors, pressing both buttons together will fold them in, useful if squeezing through a tight gap. Once everything is adjusted to your satisfaction, if you have the memory settings, you can save these positions. Just press the M and then within 5 seconds press one of the numbered memory settings. You'll hear a chime to confirm that it's saved. You can switch between stored settings just by pressing these numbered buttons. Great if you share the car with another driver. Controls for the electric windows are located on the driver's door. Most people will want to leave their windscreen wipers set to auto, so move the stalk to its lowest position and then come up one notch. Sensitivity can be adjusted using the rotating collar. Pull forward for screen wash. Similarly, the headlights are best set to auto by rotating the middle collar. Pulling the stalk towards you will flash the main beam. When driving at night, pushing the stalk away from you will toggle the main beam on and off. If your car is fitted with auto high beam assist, the car will automatically dip main beam if it detects oncoming traffic. If you have pixel LED lights, the car will keep the main beam on almost all the time, creating cones of shadow around other road users so they're not dazzled, but maintaining full beam illumination everywhere else. This mode operates above 30 miles an hour and requires the lighting control to be set to auto. There's an array of controls on the steering wheel. On the right-hand side are the controls for cruise control. Press Set when travelling at your preferred speed, and the car will automatically maintain that speed until you touch the brakes or press Cancel. Pressing the accelerator will cause the car to speed up, but when you release, it'll just return to its set speed. Pressing plus or minus will increase or reduce the set speed. If cruise control has been cancelled, pressing Resume will return the car to the last set speed. The limb button switches the function between cruise control and speed limiter. The heated steering wheel can be switched on and off with the final button. Lane keep assist can be toggled on and off by the button marked with converging white lines by the driver's knee. On the left side, there are controls for volume and buttons to skip tracks or change radio stations. The menu button triggers the instrument panel menus, allowing configuration of safety systems, heads-up display, and driver convenience features, while the outside of the dial controls navigation through those menus. Explore these options to set the car up to your preferences. The phone icon will answer a call or start the process to dial a contact on a connected phone. Pressing it in the middle of a call will end the call. A quick press on the voice control button will allow you to use voice commands. Wait for the chime and then just say, "Call home." A full list of the available commands can be accessed on the main infotainment screen. Starting the car is as simple as putting your foot on the brake pedal and pushing the start button. So long as the smart key is in the car somewhere, the engine will start. When you switch the car on, the 10-inch infotainment screen will display 3 main options: navigation, media, and telephone. If you haven't already paired a phone, it'll prompt you to do so. Tap on the phone tab, then open Bluetooth devices on your phone and select Jaguar F-Type. Accept pairing on both your phone and the screen, and from now on it should automatically pair each time you get in the car, allowing hands-free calls, voice dialing and music streaming over Bluetooth. Text messages can be displayed on the main screen, and a soft key allows for them to be read out loud. On Apple phones, it's necessary to enable this feature by selecting Settings and Bluetooth, then selecting the connection to the vehicle and enabling Show Notifications. If you prefer, connecting your phone with a cable will allow Apple CarPlay or Android Auto to mirror your phone's screen on the car's infotainment system. A long press on the voice command button on the steering wheel will then connect you to your phone's voice assistant. Going back to the home page, tapping on the Media tab will take us to the DAB radio. Tapping Source will reveal the phone that you've just paired as a possible audio source. Radio stations can be easily selected from the menu, or you can simply use the voice commands from the steering wheel. Tune radio to BBC Radio 2. The third option from the home screen is the Navigation Pro system. To input a new destination, tap on the magnifying glass and then type in any postcode, address or point of interest into the search box at the top of the screen. You can also search for businesses and transport links, hotels and restaurants. Where possible, the system will show TripAdvisor reviews. Destinations can be easily set by voice. Navigation. Take me to 33 Baker Street, London. As well as appearing on the main 10-inch screen, navigation instructions will also be shown on the interactive display in front of the driver. This screen can be reconfigured for a 1 or 2 dial display by pressing Menu, and selecting display options. You can even bring the map across the whole screen, retaining a digital readout of your speed. F-Type is supplied with a 4G data connection to allow over-the-air updates of the infotainment systems and maps, and provide live traffic, flight information and internet search. When the system has an update available, it will alert the driver on the main menu screen and ask for permission to update when you switch off the engine. Only agree at a convenient time, as the car must then remain switched off and locked for up to 30 minutes whilst the update is applied. Swiping to the left from the home screen reveals additional features such as dynamic driving information, driving efficiency analysis, and options for smart settings. The car can be set to recognise different drivers, either by different smart keys or the signal from their mobile phone, so the system can develop separate profiles for each driver's preferences. If memory seats are fitted, this starts with automatically putting the seat in the correct position for each driver. It can also analyse behaviour to pre-select navigation routes based on your regular routine, store audio preferences and remember climate settings. So the car might automatically put the heated seats on when it's below 6 degrees outside. Remember that you listen to a particular radio station on the way to work, but listen to a podcast on the way home. Know that on Thursday you come home via the gym and set the navigation accordingly. It will also remember that you like a one-dial display, but your partner prefers 2 dials with the map shown between them. Obviously, this involves storing a level of personal data, so when setting the system up, you can choose what data is stored on each profile. If you don't want it to store location data or information on your phone calling habits, just deselect these options. The panel below the touchscreen is dominated by 3 large dials. The centre dial controls fan blower speed, while the left and right dials specify temperature for passenger and driver climate control. Pressing these dials in will toggle control for the heated seats. Buttons below the dials control front and rear heated windscreens and air recirculation. Jaguar F-Type features a pistol grip gear selector. Press the brake, squeeze the trigger and pull towards you to engage drive, push away to engage reverse. Shifting towards you and then nudging to the left will enable sport mode. This will alter the operation of the automatic gearbox, holding on to gears longer to give punchier performance. You can manually shift up and down the auto gearbox using the paddles either side of the steering wheel. To return the car to automatic operation, hold the right paddle towards you for 3 seconds. When you come to a stop, push the button on top to put it back in park. To the side of the gear shift, you'll find a switch to control drive modes. Set to comfort as standard, pulling the switch backwards will engage dynamic mode, while pushing it forwards will engage the rain, ice, snow setting. Useful for low traction surfaces. Each mode will affect the power delivery, gear shifting and traction control to give the best possible control and response. More information about these modes can be found on the iGuide app. The electronic park brake will disengage automatically when you drive away and re-engage when you switch the engine off. A manual override control is located on the centre console. Just next to this is the control for the active switchable exhaust, if fitted, which will adjust the soundtrack in accordance with how you feel about your neighbours. Sometimes there is wisdom in a discreet departure. Convertible cars will find the control for the roof in this area. This can be operated at speeds up to 30 miles an hour. Press and hold the switch until the process completes and a confirmation message shows on the instrument panel. When driving, be aware that a start-stop system is standard, so the engine will cut out when you come to a stop, instantly restarting in the time it takes for your foot to move from the brake to the accelerator when you pull away. This can be overridden with a control on the lower panel, but it delivers a surprisingly high fuel saving and helps reduce air pollution in cities and towns. All cars are fitted with exhaust filters. These need to refresh occasionally and you may notice more visible exhaust emissions while this is happening. On a petrol engine, it happens more frequently when you lift off the throttle and more oxygen passes through the system. Now occasionally, the car may display a message saying drive to clear. This is most common on petrols when they've been used under load, like towing. It's not for me to judge how you use your F-Type. Find occasions to lift off the throttle and slow using engine braking to clear the filter. Automatic braking systems for city driving are standard and detect other traffic, pedestrians and cyclists, preventing collision or mitigating damage. Cars fitted with adaptive cruise control have a high-speed emergency braking system. The lane keep system will provide a torque steer back into the lane if the car thinks you're drifting beyond its lane markers, so it's important to indicate when changing lane. If blind spot assist is fitted, the door mirrors incorporate a blind spot warning system, lighting up when a vehicle is travelling alongside and flashing rapidly to warn if a car is closing to overtake. If you start to move into the path of an adjacent vehicle, the car will deliver a torque steer in an attempt to avoid a collision. These driver aids are designed to intervene when there is no input from the driver, which is surprisingly hard to simulate, so please don't try to test these systems. Any input from the driver will override them, and they do not reduce the driver's responsibility to drive safely and attentively. They can be deactivated, but as all of them have been shown to save lives both inside and outside the vehicle, they're switched on by default, and we recommend leaving them that way. For additional safety, in the event of an accident where the airbags are deployed or the fuel safety cutoff is activated, the car will automatically contact emergency services, sending GPS location data. Emergency services can be contacted at any time by pressing the right-hand button above the rear-view mirror. The left-hand button summons breakdown assistance. Now, both these buttons have covers to avoid accidental operation. When refuelling, simply press the filler flap. So long as the car is unlocked, it will open. A smart mechanism will prevent filling with the wrong fuel, but F-Type will never leave you in much doubt that you are driving a petrol engine. This video has really only touched on the essentials. Please make use of the iGuide app or videos on our YouTube channel to find out more, or contact your local retailer with any questions. Thank you for your time and enjoy your time with the Jaguar F-Type.